You were gaping there at those pictures.
I was absolutely gobsmacked.
That's jumping out of the plane. All right, so tell us more about the findings.
Well, the study was done at the beginning of August, and we do a monthly study about topical issues around the world. And it's done in 28 countries. In some of the countries, there's a sample size of 1,000, and in others 500. In South Africa, the sample size is 500. Only because the incidence of internet is not so high in South Africa. So us and India and China is 1,000. Quite a few countries have 500. Eastern Europe, Hungary, Poland, and those places. And then in China, Japan, America, the rest of Europe, or in Western Europe, it's usually 1,000 interviews. The studies are done on the internet, so we have to keep in mind it is not representative of everybody. Obviously, in countries like Western Europe or America, it is representative of the population because of the penetration of internet in those countries. But as far as we are concerned, it's more of an elite sample because around about 50% of South Africans have access to the internet, whether it be at home, at the office, or on their phones.
Okay, and the finding is?
The finding is that a lot of people, that there are basically three important things. That people want manufacturers to use less plastic, and in general, to reduce the packaging of goods. And if they use packaging, then it needs to be biodegradable. And they also have a dearth of information about plastic, because only in the UK are people aware of the fact that there's some things like single-use plastic, things that cannot be recycled. So that is extremely important.
And that would be something that you cover your food with, for example.
Yeah.
And balloons are bad too.
Balloons are very bad too. So people are not really aware of those aspects because they think plastic's plastic to most people. And then the third important thing that we found is that all over the world people are saying they need clarity on the rules and regulations from their governments and municipalities about how to recycle. The only countries where there was, I think, adequate information about this was in places like Sweden and Belgium, where it's a way of life to recycle. But in South Africa, it was about 40% of people said they don't really know what to recycle. The rules are not clear. So these three important things came out in the study.
And also because we're bombarded by plastic, aren't we? I mean, I was happy to see at Woolworths yesterday that they're stopping single-use plastic, but they still, and I hope they've stopped it now, wrap rusks
individual packages.
I mean, why?
Yeah.
So we see it all the time, don't we, rather than less plastic. It seems to be in some areas growing.
The important thing, I think, is that people, as you pointed out in the beginning, that people are willing to change their shopping behavior. They say, we will go somewhere else if you do not play ball.
Good.
And the only thing, and the stick in the mud, and I think the fly in the ointment, are the Americans who say, no, why should we do that? And I do think it has a lot to do with President Trump and his attitude about climate change, about the environment, about recycling, about all, that whole bundle of goods or issues if we look at environmental pollution.
Yeah, he really is a wrecking ball when it comes to the environment, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Okay, so, I mean, with Christmas coming up, any findings that you can pass on to us about that?
Well, with Christmas coming up, I think just wrap your presents in newspaper because that's going to be recycled anyway. Don't buy all glitzy stuff that is going to go straight into the bin and not being recycled afterwards. And just be careful about what you do, and put the things, all your cold drink bottles and food wrapping and things in recyclable bins. And then I think it is probably a large almost an indictment, I think, on our local authorities, that they have to think about this in future. Next year, people want to recycle. They want to use less plastic. So help us. Tell us how to do this. Give us 3 different bags. Tell us how to do these things, and don't dump all of those things in one landfill.
Yes, that's naughty. Thank you.
Absolutely.